Hi, I'm Andrew, one of the co-founders of Quest. Today I'm going to show you how to set up scroll triggers for things like animating text into place as you scroll down the page. Quest takes design from Figma and instantly converts it into working HTML pages you can host or download the code. So let's take a look at this example page. You can see as I scroll down the page, different elements will slide and fade into place. And you can see that the different elements all have their own animation style set up. This was designed in Figma and brought into Quest as you can see it here now. This is the Quest editor, and as you can see on the left side panel, the layer structure from Figma was completely retained. So we can set up scroll triggers on elements or groups, it doesn't matter. In this case, we'll set up both the frame and individual layers to give it a dynamic look. So I'll scroll down the page in the editor and select this first image. This is inside the frame called Work 1. On the right side, you'll see the features section, and we'll need to click that plus button to give it this first feature in action. We'll go down and choose Scroll Trigger, then Animate In, then Fade In. This will create a fade in animation when this frame is scrolled into view. Now you can press Preview up at the top to see it in action, but before we do that, I want to show and explain some of the options you have in case you want to tweak the default that got applied. You won't see this trigger the animation in edit mode, so you'll have to try it in preview mode, or of course if you publish the page. As you can see in the right side panel, you see two options. First, you can choose an offset to when the frame comes into view, and secondly, a toggle to change if you want to play this one time or many. Right now, with the default offset, it is set to 0 pixels. This means that the moment this comes into view, it will start the fade animation. Let's change it to roughly 200 pixels so that after 200 or so, it being in view, it will now trigger the animation, so it'll give it a little time to go up the page before we set the animation. Otherwise, it's going to happen right away and it won't have the same impact. Also, let's toggle how many times to show this with Reset Trigger on Hide. This will reset all animations to their start place, so if your user scrolls back to it, it will do the whole animation all over again. This will happen whether they scroll up or down back to the scroll trigger. This is really a personal preference, so we leave it up to you to decide if you want that on. Now let's hit preview and scroll down to see how it looks. The whole section now fades in once you get up about 200 pixels or so into the browser view. Now you can also tweak the animation itself by pressing the action button. This will show a pop-up that allows you to further tweak the animation you just picked. Each animation type might have its own settings, but for fade it's pretty simple. First, we're applying the fade to itself, but you can get creative and have triggers animate other things on the page if you want to. The other two options at the top are about timing. You can set the delay after the scroll trigger to when you want to show the animation, and also the length of the animation and how long that takes place. These top options are shared across all animation types. Next, you'll see what opacity is fading to. By default, you have it fade to 0, but you can change this to 50% if you want to fade halfway, for instance. Last, we have the animation type. For fading things, this might not always have the biggest impact. But for sliding things in the screen or scaling things in the screen, the ease type is something you're going to want to play around with to get the exact feel that you're looking for. The last thing I want to point out here is that there's this play icon that you can press to preview the animation that you have set up. This is helpful for making tweaks to see how this will animate without having to lose your place by checking it out in preview mode. To finish off the effect, we can click on the title, set up your profile and preferences, and create a slide-in animation. When we go to the pop-up and press the play icon, we can see the effect that it will give us. Now there's a lot of different animation types you can apply and tweak as you need your elements on the page, and we'll be adding more in the future. Play around and see what style fits your page. And there you go. Don't forget to subscribe for more Quest tips and go to quest.ai/Figma to get the latest plugin. And thank you for watching.